Hello, welcome to Appliance Master Live. I'm Bill, and back from vacation joining me is Kari.
Hello, and today we're going to be discussing one of our favorite topics, that's we frequent. It's dryer venting and some things that you can look out for, and use your senses to kind of gauge if you are having a dryer vent issue.
Very important, because on the senses, like if you, everybody now go into your laundry room. We'll wait till you get there. All right, no. So when you're in your laundry room, look for lint on top of the dryer, on top of the washer, or on the walls. Very light coating, because if you see that, that typically means there's too much back pressure in your vent, and the air is escaping from joints and other vents inside the dryer. So that's a sign that your dryer is working too hard and you're building up.
Or you might just need to clean off your lint filter, because that needs to be done every time, right? That little thing that you pull out.
That's every time. But the lint filter is before the laundry, before the clothes. So the air comes through the filter, through the clothes, out the machine, and then so what you would see outside your house would be like it's blow through a regular straw, and then blow through a cocktail straw. So your dryer is trying to blow into a restricted, into a vent, and so that your cheeks, your dryers, and it's leaking out those places along the way.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So we try to make sense here from time to time.
What would something else that a customer should look out for?
Well, again, in your I don't know that.
In your observations.
No, but I would say if your drying times are longer than 40 minutes, that's almost always a problem. 40 minutes or less is kind of like my rule of thumb. But it's of course, if you're doing some massive load, that's different. But your standard everyday load should probably even dry closer to 30 minutes. So if you have an hour one time, you can sit there and just pay attention, listen to it,
and then what would be some sounds that a customer should look out for in regards to a possible dryer venting issue?
Well, sounds are
they usually come from the dryer itself, right?
Yeah. Squeaks, squeals, those are things that are usually because the dryer is getting too hot. And when if it seems like you can go put your hands on it, they're always going to be a little warm, but especially the top shouldn't be hot, and it shouldn't, so when the entire unit gets warmer, it's going to affect the lubricant on some parts, and it's going to cause them to squeaks, and so if you hear it
making the unpleasant noises.
Yeah, and so those are things, and they may last a long time. You might have a squeal for years before something actually breaks, but even though the part didn't break yet, you might be spending 10-20 minutes longer on a drying cycle than you need to, and spending that extra energy. So even though the machine's still running, you should pay attention to it, have it looked at, just to save energy and lengthen the life of your machine.
What about the vent itself in the back? Is there a certain position that it should be in or not be in? Generally short as possible. Like if you look in the back, the piece that attaches from the dryer to the house venting the wall is called a transition duct. A transition duct should be as short as possible. And like some people say, well, I like when I pull the machine out, it comes with it. But it's like you have to. How often are you going to pull out your machine? And you have to get those things arranged in such a way that they remain. If you look behind your machine and it looks like a snake, if it's twisting all over the place, that's kind of a cry for help. That's adding feet to your run.
And that's something that can be fixed easily. And you do it once, it'll last for years, and it'll save you drying time, energy, wear and tear on your machine. And it's easy to do.
And that would be an upgrade that our technicians would have available to them on their vehicle.
And all those things too, you might also notice a smell. When things get a little bit warmer, obviously if you smell burning, if that's probably lint burning inside your dryer, that's an emergency. Have that looked at immediately. But if you just sense that something that smells warmer or feels warmer in the room, that's also probably something your venting should be looked at.
Indication to have one of our technicians come over and check it out for you.
And sometimes also people have that flexible vent snaked all around their laundry room. Whenever possible, you should have rigid venting, like solid metal, like that. And because, this is an elbow, or 90, but you can see there's no. It's smooth inside. It has really low.
There's no grooves, whereas the other stuff has grooves and texture in the fabric that would hold moisture, and then
that flexible
the lint would stick to it. I could see that happening.
Yeah. That flexible vent. It's like it's a screw. It's like air goes in there. It creates all kinds of turbulence, and it catches little pockets of lint. And so whenever possible, you want to have it straight, rigid venting. And the stuff is really inexpensive. It's easy to do, and you do it once. You could buy a new dryer, and it stays with your house. It'll last as long as your house lasts.
Well, even if you buy a new dryer and you have poor venting, your new dryer is going to break because it's getting too hot.
Well, that's something we try.
Not performing optimally.
You'd be surprised. Like sometimes customers don't really put that together. It's like, this dryer's terrible. It's always breaking, and it takes too long to dry, so I'm going to buy a new one. It's like, well, the new one's going to have the same challenge if it's got like terrible venting to exhaust to.
That's definitely a good point.
Okay, so when that observation, the look, listen, things, that doesn't have to only be in your laundry room. If you want to go outside and look at your vent, it's like, pretty common one.
We've shown this a couple times, but if you see this,
it
needs to be changed.
The funny part is, like, this doesn't necessarily, like, this is okay with some building code and fire codes, but the problem is like these three little doors. Every load of laundry is going to move about a gallon of water, through here, and that's water it takes from your clothes, vaporizes it, puts it out. By the time it gets out here, it's condensing again, it's cooling, so you get water vapor on here, and then you get dust. So these things clog quickly, and it's like, and if you're on, especially if this is the first floor, you might clean it all the time. That might be okay, but if it's on the second floor or somewhere you can't see it, it's just
and it's plastic too, so it's going to get brittle and break off in the varying temperatures depending on where you live. I know we have some pretty extreme temperatures here in New Jersey. Yeah,
but guess why contractors put these on your house?
They're cheap.
It might be like $6 as opposed to like a metal one that'll last forever, which might be $40. So they're going to put the least expensive thing on, and once they're done screwing it on, they're done, and now you own the problem. Okay.
So is there anything else that someone might want to look for? What about, if they see the vent on the outside is actually clogged? Do you have an example of that?
Funny you should ask. This is a big, this you see all the time, and it's a big, like, I don't know, but it's like, this is a big, people put these cages on vents, and look at it. They clog instantly. You're going to climb outside and clean this thing every week? Look at it. They clog solid, and then you might as well it's a total blockage. So, I don't know if you get that. Yeah, if you see that, I guess they sell them if somebody's making money on them, but they're pointless. Except maybe on a bathroom vent, on a kitchen vent. It's not going to get that kind of lint through it. And okay, so any questions?
I don't know if I have any more questions. I'm trying to think of some things that we get common complaints about.
Well, here's something I think that anywhere in your venting, in your dryer venting, whether it's foot, 10 feet, 30 feet, anywhere, if you have a half-inch buildup on that 4-inch vent, just a half-inch buildup somewhere, that is going to restrict the airflow by 44%. So it doesn't look like a lot, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's cutting the airflow almost in half. And it's like, here's a picture of one that's probably a little bit more than a half-inch. But this is something we took apart. You're not going to see that, and so even if that was only clogged right there in this section, your venting is going to be clogged by half almost. And by the way, the reason this is clogged is because, again, they have an elbow against another elbow. Totally not. You're supposed to have 4 feet of distance between each 90 degree. Not installed properly. This was cleaned less than a year earlier by a different company. We come out to a dryer fire. It's like, you know how easy this is to fix? You just
very minimal effort.
Yeah, and you do it once, and it's going to last. It's going to last for as long as your house lasts.
Yeah, and then when our dryer vent analysis fee, $39.95. That a technician will come over, do a visual inspection of the dryer venting, as well as take readings for the airflow, and give you their recommendation on any kind of upgrades that they can offer you for your system.
And this is just one of the pictures here is like they use like an electronic manometer and a mag-healer gauge and different
specialized tools.
Yeah, I mean, there's a picture of one of them, but it's like, you know, the technician will actually take physical readings to see exactly where you stand. And there's, again, $39. It's money well spent.
Yep.
So, like, as we're winding down this session, I know I don't like when Kari goes on vacation because, like, you know, just like working with her. I don't mind when I go on vacation, but when she goes, it's tough. And I know that Jamie is particularly glad to have her back because she gets to be on the other side of the camera again. So she's vowed never to be on this side again. But you guys got a lot of people liked her, right? Got a lot of positive.
I thought it was great.
All right.
Well, thanks for watching. And again, as we always say, ask any questions on this video. We'd be more than happy to answer them. You can also, you know, reach out to us on our website, APPLIANCEMASTER.com, or give us a call with any of your questions.
That's 800-752-7123. And of course, that's at APPLIANCEMASTER.com. Thanks for coming back this week.